what is the difference between particles and antiparticles, worlds and anti-worlds? Discussion with Uxtukulur, PhD in molecular physics. You're talking about organizing of gravity, but in the previous answers you told that gravity is the manifestation properties of the aspects of the pure cosmic quality все любовь, все мудрость, all love, all wisdom. How could one combine this? It's very simple. All love, all wisdom manifests depending on the degree of interaction with the quality all will, all intelligence, все воля, все разума. That is, the higher the information you manipulate, the higher the manifestation potential of the quality all love, all wisdom, and information is the consequent of the all will, all intelligence. The higher the flows of information, mentality, mental plasma, which you enable and conduct through constructions of your self-consciousness, that is, through associations, associative perception, the higher the degree of organizing what we call the feeling of love, the feeling of wisdom, the feeling of awareness of everything from the information. And this virtually produces the reduction of gravity, the lowering of weight. And it was quite obvious from the example of the wakening during the singing sessions. The more qualitative flows are coming through us, the lower the weight. Is there the inverse rotation then? That is, this field tension decreases with the increasing of the quality all love, all wisdom. Yes, the tension decreases with the increasing of the quality of energy manipulation. The velocities of energy manipulation create lesser resistance. The higher the velocity, the lower the inertia, and I'm manipulating with the high mental energies. And now I'm manipulating with the high mental energies. If this would be possible to measure me before the conversation, to observe my weight during the conversation via an indicator board visible for a big audience, then the changes in my weight dependent on what I am telling you would be clearly seen. And just as I've started to talk, the indicator would show the decrease of the weight at once. The high mentality degrees I would have during my explanations to you, the lesser my weight would be. It would shift and shift and shift. It would be great to have such scales. It's quite possible to make them based on the scales used, for example, in an airport. If only the indicator board would be offset and fixed somewhere aloft, visible for everyone, I would sit on these scales. Firstly, they would fix on some value, and then one could see that the higher matter, the higher thoughts I manipulate, the lower my weight is. And as soon as I switch to jokes, for example, my weight goes up again. If I start to explain something again, my weight goes lower. You also told that it's preferable to discuss aspects of generating of graviton gravitino. Oh yes, this aspect which explains the simultaneity of everything, single momentums of everything. I'm not able to notice that I have electrons at this moment, and all of me consist of antineutrons at the next moment. That is, everything stays the same. Then what's the difference between particles and antiparticles? The difference is concerned with the rotation shift. All of us, and also our continuum, move in different directions. And when I was talking that the rotation shift for this reality equals 1/328th of a second, the same rotation shift moves in every direction. It can be more qualitative, a bit lesser qualitative, strongly lesser qualitative, and in very different direction from the first qualitative state, and it will be still 1/328th. When this shift happens, it creates space geometry modification. We have found out that the worlds virtually don't exist. There is a certain sequence of dynamics of the space geometry modification. The space geometry which belongs to this instant transforms to another geometry due to the change of my psychic activity. My activity. Let's take only me, though this will be the same for every other person. The space geometry has modified. Scientists say, once the universe has modified on the level of a quantum, that means on the very minimal observation level. Everything what is being created is possible only in regards to the observer. Everyone is the observer of their own world. I am the observer of my own world. If you think of me not as Oris, but as a simple man, then I couldn't be the observer of the next world. Therefore, I see what is our given continuum is in one position of the general rotation shift. We need to understand clearly what the continuum is. We need to understand how your worlds, my worlds, your worlds and their worlds, and all of the people worlds who are not here, how all these worlds cross at one quantum level. How? We talked that the quantum is the totality of all information. Yes, that is, everyone has some part of this information. Kind of sophisticated hologram is produced then. Yes, it's very sophisticated hologram, but every part of this hologram has all information on the DNA level. We are talking now. And our DNAs, my DNA, your DNA, her DNA, DNAs of all listeners, have changed their activity. Now nobody is thinking about sex at the moment, about going and saying rude things or punching somebody in the face or something else. Maybe someone had activity on this level before our conversation. But now everything has changed. Those states corresponded to one state of DNA of the stretches of the genome, but the current states have changed us. We've become different. Those worlds, which were 2 hours before, have left a completely unattainable state of us. But they have not disappeared. They exist. And those you who, let's suppose, were offended, and those you who have started to change, all you exist. But you exist as information, as the block of informations. Every information very strictly possesses its place in the single information quantum of the universe. If we take all the quantum, inflate it to this size of the universe, and won't move further, limited it, then the universe is the quantum. In fact, that's not really true. because the quantum moves further beyond the universe, beyond that universe dimension with which we talk about. If we talk about the starting from the sixth dimension, then the quantum will move beyond the bounds of that dimension where we realize ourselves. Everything is very sharply co-adjusted